How's everybody doing? Today's video is going to just be a first impressions of the D'Addario XT Extended Life Electric Strings 10 to 46. Also, you may notice that I'm wearing the same clothes for the next couple of videos. That's because I'm trying to work ahead on videos so that I can begin working on an album within the next few weeks. So let's get on to these strings. D'Addario says they have an extended life treatment, which to me sounds like they're coated. They feel slightly coated. They don't feel like a real thick coating like I've felt with other brands before. I have liked D'Addario strings in the past, particularly NYXLs. I think those are really good strings. But they're also kind of a high-end string, and they don't last extremely long, especially for my sweaty, corrosive hands that seem to go through strings every 2 playing sessions. And I'm not kidding. So I figured to give these a fair shot for first impressions, I would need to do at least 2 sessions. I have actually now done 3 full practice sessions with these. Here in the light, you can see that there are kind of a few spots where the strings are looking a bit dark, which normally they would start to feel real grabby, and that's when I would have to change them. But they don't feel grabby, they just appear dark in some spots, probably the more commonly played scale areas for when I was practicing those times. So that covers the feel. They feel slightly coated, but not terribly so. It's not bothersome with them. Now sonically, my very first impression when I was practicing, listening to them through headphones, I felt like they sounded like a nice, mid-present D'Addario set of strings. I find D'Addario strings have kind of a sweet tone to the mids, almost like the sort of sweetness characteristic you get from an alder constructed guitar, but with the metal of the strings. Some of you guys will know what I'm talking about. But with all D'Addario strings anyway, they have kind of a sweet mid-range. Interestingly, the very first session I played them, I felt like the high E sounded really, really weak. And I don't know exactly what caused that. And I'm not even saying that it necessarily was, because now it sounds balanced to me. So I don't know if it was something that was truly the case and then I got used to it, or if I was just kind of not being very perceptive with the very first session. But anyway, they sound normal and balanced to me at this point. These strings hold their tune very well. I've even taken this guitar in and out of the closet, in and out of its case, temperature variations, and then when I went to play it just now, I barely had to tweak the tuning. I'm not going to turn this into a playing demo because I'm playing just with the camera audio with a Boss Katana. I would have done a playing demo off the bat, except right around the time that I was going to do that, my soundboard completely crapped out, so I have to get a new one. Mainly, I'm just talking about my first impressions. And as I played that just now with this slightly different setup here in the living room, the impression that I had about the high E, I think, initially was false. So I think honestly, right now, after playing them for several hours, they do sound balanced. I also wonder if maybe it just had kind of a weird break-in point, because I'm rarely ever imperceptive when it comes to sound. But anyway, they sound great now. If I had to guess based on the rate that they are wearing right now, I might guess that they're halfway through their life, which, like I said, normally I would get 2 practices out of a set of strings and I'd have to change them because they'd start getting real faded and where it would kind of hurt your fingernails and kind of stop you from doing slides and stuff. So they're already ahead. I don't know cost-wise where they're going to land. I assume they'll be worth it cost-wise if they last twice as long as they have right now. And who knows, they could last multiples longer than that, but I'm just guessing based on the fact that I can start to see some faded spots. But yeah, it's been nice to actually hear myself playing with the tone of the D'Addario strings, because I've been using these Dunlop Performance Plus strings or whatever that are just like the cheapest ones that are decent. Those don't last very long. Most strings don't last very long. That's not a knock on Dunlop strings, but these I'm hoping will last long. And I've decided that as I'm testing them out, I'm going to try to take average care of them. So the first time I played them, I played my whole practice and then I put the guitar on the stand wet. Normally when I play, I would take a rag or like an old shirt and I would wipe them down, and then I would put on string lube after I'm done, and that would kind of hold off the corrosion. The first time I played this with these strings, I didn't do that intentionally, and I think that might even be what caused them to look faded, because the next couple times that I played them, I did do that, and they haven't really seemed to age any more noticeably since then. But I figured that would be kind of a more realistic test condition to do, because there are times here and there where I'll play and it'll be real late at night, I'm super tired, and I'm pretty much just playing until I go to bed. So I might just then throw the guitar on the stand and get ready for bed, and I don't actually wipe it down every single time. But yeah, we'll see how they go. My first impressions are positive. They have a certain feel that they don't feel as waxy as a lot of coated strings. I don't really know what the difference is between their process and the typical sort of, are they called elixirs, the ones that I've used before? I might not remember because I really didn't like them. But these are better than those. They're better than the average sort of coated string as far as feel goes, which is good. If you guys have tried these in the comments, let me know how long they've lasted for you. It'd be interesting to hear. I'm just perpetually trying to solve the problem that I have where the strings that I play on rust out and I have to change them constantly. Normally on this guitar, if I practice 2 or 3 times a week, I'm changing the strings once a week. I've now had these strings on for 2 weeks straight, which is a pretty good amount of time, especially considering it's summer. There's been some humidity, there's been some sweating when I play. Not to get too graphic. So I think with the soundboard thing, I missed the window to give them a fair tone test or tone demo, unfortunately. Whether or not I end up buying these again, I'll probably try to do at least a final thoughts video when I do finally have to change them, just to go over how long they lasted and my final thoughts. If you like this video, don't forget to share it and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.